I've always been told to love myself.
And welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would revisit the topic of the ketogenic diet and what it means to be in ketosis and how to get ketogenic fat adapted. So if you're interested to see what this whole diet and lifestyle is all about, even though I did mention it and I did vlog about it in my previous 2 videos, I think it'd be great if I broke it down and bring it back to the forefront as a topic for discussion. So if you're interested to see this video about ketosis and the ketogenic diet, please keep watching. So how does one embark upon starting a ketogenic diet, and what is the right way to start this particular diet if you've never been off carbs all your life? So as you may have heard, the ketogenic diet, keto for short, has been exploding in popularity over the past few years. I have been on the keto diet for the last 3 years and in ketosis for that amount of time. So, but before you give this diet a try, keep in mind that it's way better to start the diet the right way and avoid the mistakes others have made in the past. That way you can enjoy the benefits of the diet faster with better results. For me, it was all about weight loss. For others, it could be just because it's a cleaner way of eating, more mental clarity, there's no drowsiness, and of course, it's a way to stabilize and maintain your weight. However, the benefits of a keto diet are substantial, and in this I'll show you exactly how to properly use a keto diet in order to reap its full benefit. The keto diet focuses on putting your body into a metabolic called ketosis. Now what that generally means is that your body will use fat as a source of energy rather than sugar to generate energy for your body. So in order for your body to switch into this state, the typical advice is to eat a low-carb diet, remove all the sugar and processed foods from your diet, stop drinking alcohol, and eat high fats and moderate proteins. And that's why they say bone broth is very keto-friendly and a good way to start adapting to this diet. So it's very simple in theory. Like I said, low-carb, high-fat, moderate protein. But that in itself doesn't tell you what you need to eat and what to avoid and how much of it to eat. So what can you exactly eat on a keto diet? Well, you can have fats, coconut, butter, oil, ghee, fat from animal fat, saturated fat. You can have cheese, eggs, meat, organ meat, fish, seafood, non-starchy vegetables, and some berries. So basically the fruit in your diet has to be removed because of the high fructose, which then converts into sugar. However, if you eat a handful of berries every 2nd or 3rd day, that's quite acceptable as well. So on a typical day, diet may look like breakfast will be eggs with some avocado and some fruit. Lunch could be a cup of bone broth with a chicken or beef salad, and dinner could be steak with sauteed vegetables followed by keto kind of dessert. But as for me, I've removed all desserts from my diet because of my sensibilities to not have to crave that sugary feel. Other meal ideas from proponents of the ketogenic diet. Like I said, Stephen Finney has a MD from Stanford University, a PhD in nutritional biochemistry from MIT, and a postdoctoral work at Harvard. He's been researching ketogenic diets for decades and is the co-author of Art and Science of Low Carbohydrates. His example meal plan is breakfast, he'll have black coffee, eggs and sausages. For lunch, salad with greens, tuna, olives, blue cheese dressing. For snacks, nuts, broth, cheese, sticks, and for dinner, tomato bisque, which is a soup, steak, greens, beans, and mushrooms. And for him, he'll have his dessert, which will be homemade ice cream with xylitol, which is an artificial natural sugar. But again, that is a keto-friendly dessert. Now, Dominic D'Agostino is an assistant professor in pharmacology and physiology at the University of South Florida, and studies neurological and disease prevention, he eats eggs, sardines, oysters, broccolis for breakfast. So there's no processed food in these people's diet. There's no toast, there's no cereal. It's clean, fat, good fat food. And they are just a few examples, and the possibility are endless. All you need to do is on the internet, Google keto recipes, and you're good to go, because there's a plethora of recipes to go through. So the potential hazard, carb flu, and how to get over it. So when you first start on a ketogenic diet, you will feel moody, you will get headaches, you'll even get slight nausea, and this is very common because these symptoms typically arise because your body is adjusting to using ketones after having been so dependent on carbohydrates probably most of your life. So while the carb flu typically lasts less than a week or two, you can do a few things to get over it faster and to minimize how bad you feel. You drink more water, take some MCT oil, take in a little bit more healthy fats and protein, and consider a little bit of clean carbs like sweet potato or fruit into your diet to ease into that transition. Now, transition period, often referred to as the fat adaptation or keto adaptation period, most people find that they gain a ton of mental and physical energy. They don't have energy crashes in the afternoons, and they often sleep a bit less and wake up feeling refreshed. And this is what I can attest to, because I get up at 3 o'clock every morning. I get up like that. I don't need an alarm. I'm full of energy. I hit the gym running. So that's because my body runs on fat for fuel rather than sugar. And you tend to eat less because you don't get those cravings, and because you don't feel hunger, because the fats, the good fats in your body, will satiate you to alleviate the hunger pains. So when you're first getting started, it can be useful to use a blood or breath ketone meter just to gauge what your blood levels are in terms of your ketones, and that will measure the amount of ketones and the energy source your body is switching to in your blood and in your breath. And knowing these amounts and seeing how they increase or decrease depending on what you eat daily can often be a motivating and helpful indicator of the transition occurring in your body. So anything on the meter from 0.5 to 3 millimolars, you're in fat burning mode, and you know that your ketones are working in your system. So the mistakes to avoid on a ketogenic diet is not getting enough salt or potassium and magnesium. Now these are minerals that your body will need, and you need that sodium, that salt on a regular basis in your diet. Salt is being a problem, but usually it results in fatigue and cravings if you don't increase your salt intake. So having salt in your food, having bone broth, using OXO cubes in hot water and drinking that will keep your minerals levels high, so also that you don't get the cravings. Not eating enough greens. It's so important that your intake of vegetables is of a high level, and my rule of thumb is that anything that is green you should be eating, and you can eat as much as you want of the green. Vegetables like onions and mushrooms might have a high amount of carbs, good carbs, but you want to generally limit those, and like I said, anything that's green, there's no limit. However, for good gut health, ensure that you're getting plenty of vitamins and minerals, and it's important to keep eating a lot of those vegetables. And there are many ways that you can eat your vegetables in your diet. Again, you can just Google the internet to look at smoothies, salads, sautés. They're all very quick and simple to make. Now, exercise is one of the components of a healthy lifestyle, and many of us skip when trying a new diet. Now, it can be mentally hard to stick, and this makes going to the gym seem almost impossible and awful. However, it's good to try and do some exercise if you can manage it, even if it means you're just walking every day in the initial stages. Walking, like I said, is one of the simplest options, but doing body weights, exercise, push-ups, sit-ups, squats at home are all fantastic to do. For me, it's all weight and cardio. because what I need to do is increase bone density, increase muscle mass, and keep the fat at bay. So the next question is, how long do you stay on keto? Well, that's really up to you, and it all depends, and this is why it's important that you go and see a doctor, because a doctor will be able to tell you whether you're insulin resistant or insulin sensitive. For me, I'm insulin resistant, which means that carbs for me are out of the question. The minute I start eating carbs, I'll just gain weight. So for me, being in ketosis, being on a keto diet is a lifestyle that I will need to follow for the rest of my life. So it's a great tool for avoiding weight gain, mental clarity. Some people do it for a couple of weeks and then they go into a paleo diet and then back to a ketogenic diet. However, if you're using keto for therapeutic purposes, then you may need to stay on it for a little bit longer, and that's something that you need to discuss with your health practitioner. So for me, I started by going to my doctor first, telling him this is what I know about keto, what can you advise me, what plan can you put me on, and then he'll take it, or she will take it from there as to guiding you into what you eat, how much of it to eat, and when to. So you personalize your keto diet, and that's something that you can experiment yourself. I personally like to intermittent fast, and that basically means that I only eat in a window of 4 hours, and then I fast for 20 hours, which means I basically don't eat anything from, say, 10 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock the next day after I get back from the gym. And this puts me in a state of metabolic benefit. It puts me in autophagy, which means that all my dead and bad cells will regenerate, and that also prevents the cause of metabolic disease. So it helps you in so many different ways. Clarity of mind, keeping your weight down, ensuring that you're not having too much sugar in your blood to avoid all the diseases. And it's an exciting and growing field that's helping so many people. If you're ready to give it a try, keep an open mind, have fun improving your body and your mind, and just remember the 3 rules of thumb: no sugar, no carbs, high fat, clean eating, and exercise. Actually, that's more than 3, but nonetheless. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and ensure you click that notification bell for all the videos. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you again for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.